Hello and welcome to today's episode of Lovingly Guided. This is season three, and starting off here strong on the first of the year. I haven't been doing episodes for the podcast for a while. As many people know, I spent this past summer hiking the Appalachian Trail, so I spent 5 months in the woods and then went ahead and traveled to Germany, came back, moved in with my boyfriend who I met on trail. And so it's been a hectic time and then the holidays popping up. So I decided just to go ahead, put everything on hold for podcast recordings until the start of this new year, and then to start this new year off strong, especially because I myself have been thinking of some different ways to elevate and kind of redo, not in a sense redo, but change the way I've been doing the podcast. I'll still jump on, do, techniques, tricks, but I think I used to just wing episodes. And so there was no rhyme or reason or pattern to anything. And I think I want to get a little bit more structured and but still fitting authentically with myself. And then what I really look forward to is my goal is to have a lot of brand new and multiple guest speakers for this season this year, and to really grow a community based for this podcast. And that's really my intention for this year, and I'm really excited for that. um, but to start off with for today's episode, due to it being the first and this beautiful new year, I thought I would share a few things that I typically do um, on for today or New Year's Eve, and that I've always, in the past couple years, I've started doing this, and it's really been helping me to be more intentional with my goals and starting everything off strong. So, personally, I've talked about this before. I'm not a huge fan of, say, New Year's resolutions. And a lot of that is because starting with New Year's resolutions, we start off, you know, kind of in the middle of winter. So, especially if it's like really high energy goals or workouts or something like that, my personal opinion is winter is our time of rest. So, if we're trying to hit the gym hard or do something like that during the season of rest, we tend to more fall off. And so, how I do my goal setting for my year is I have things I want to accomplish and things I want to do, but I kind of build until spring, like what things can I do more inward and more like in that hibernation, relax mode, not feel so stressed, and then when spring hits, take off running. So the little things I can build to really then once spring hits, we have more daylight hours, more energy and everything like that. That is when I hit the ground running. But I also love to reflect in this time and reflect to see how last year went, lessons learned, what I can improve on, and all of that. I also like to pick a new word for the following this new year or for the following year. And so example, last year my word was bucket list items. Technically two, but bucket list. And so that was my main focus for the entire year was bucket list items. And I did. I knocked out, I accomplished the Appalachian Trail. I'd always wanted to go to Bali, as that was marked off right there in February. I had always wanted to attend Oktoberfest. I'd never had the opportunity, and so I took that and I flew to Germany, did Oktoberfest. I wanted to visit even more countries than I did the previous year, and I went ahead and knocked off. Hold on, I have to think. I have to think about it. Let's see: Bali, Switzerland, Germany. Um, oh shoot, one of the other ones over there. Czech Republic. There we go. So I got to see even more countries, which was really exciting for me. And then once I came back from Germany, I originally the previous year, I had wanted to release a planner that it took me forever to build out and release to help others. It's a goal accountability planner. And I let fear get in my way and I didn't follow through. So this year I made sure and I did that. I released it at the near the end of December so everyone could have the chance to order one for this following year. And I actually decided the book I've been working on, it's finally near those end stages. I was originally going self-publish, but I kept getting in my own way. So I decided, hey, instead of self-publishing, we're going to go for a publisher. So I am now working with a publisher for that, and hopefully here in the next 3 months, the book will be released. And for my year review, I finally gained trust in myself, did the bucket list items, and took some leaps of faith. Sorry. And just even though the inside of me has been kicking and screaming, I did it anyway. So, a few wonderful journal prompts that I love to use is the uh, what went really well this year? What feelings do I want to feel more of for next year? How can I accomplish that? It's really important to just include those like positive feelings and what you want to actually feel more of. Because our goals and trying to get things are great, but most of the time we're actually reaching for emotion. We want to feel things. That's why we're chasing after these goals. It might not necessarily be the goal per se, more that emotion attached to it that we want. So, what can we do to create more of those emotions that we want to feel? And then I also just love to look at what habits and patterns were not serving me, and how do I need to show up authentically as my next for the next version of myself. Who do I need to be in order to also then reach these other goals that I want? And I still do love to make vision boards and to see what I get marked off for that year. And then I also like to then take a few of those goals or something I want to achieve. So, like I said, last year was my bucket list item year. And so an opportunity for Bali came up, which I took. It was out of my comfort zone. But then also the Germany trip. I decided to go ahead and I knew that was something I really wanted to do. I've talked about it. I booked that trip in January to make sure I could mark that off. So some of your goals, what can you go ahead and do to kind of already accomplish that one, something? That way you know, you show up as the best version you can for that year, but it's a great feeling when you can look back and say, I did one thing. Woo. So what's one thing that you can go ahead and mark off as soon as possible and stop pushing back? Then, um, like I said, I like to pick a new word. And so for this year for me, this year is going to be a little different than I have um, been living my life here in the past 3 years. And for me personally, this year for me is building. I want to, build this podcast and create that community base that I was talking about because I think that'd be so beautiful for people to have a community, a place where they can feel safe and also be able to learn and to have some great takeaways as well. And then, the book that I'm working on, getting that released. Also, just building my coaching business that I had some clientels before I did the trail. I obviously wasn't able to coach people while hiking, so now I'm relaunching that. I'm kind of even starting anew. I have more clarity of what I want it to look like and how I want to help people, which is important. So for me, this year is going to be a building year, and whatever feels right for you, what kind of year do you want coming up? So I hope some of this was helpful and a happy new year. Let's make 2025 our best year yet because I truly believe that we can continuously make each and every year better than the next. And as always, I love you.